boys and girls, and welcome back to my channel. So thank you for joining me on this brand new video. So I'll be doing another read aloud video to you guys. So I'd like to thank you for subscribing to my channel and hit the notification and to keep my channel growing. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. So what I'm going to read Ratatouille. This is my brother's book. So I'm going to have a go read to you guys. It looks so familiar. This is 2007 Disney Pixar's movie Ratatouille. I love that movie. It's so good. I love that movie so much. Seems quite funny. That's the label of Disney's Wonderful World of Reading. It seems quite different logos. It looks so familiar. And this is some Scholastic publication. Are you guys quite familiar with that? That's an American book company. Okay, so shall I read to you guys? Deep in the French countryside, a colony of rats sift through the compost heap for food. It was a dirty job, but Remy had to sniff all the scrap of bread, vegetables, and who knows what else to make sure they were safe to eat. His brother, Emil, was always impressed by Remy's sense of taste and smell. Secretly, Remy had a bigger dream than rummaging through rubbish. He wanted to be a great chef, like his idol, Auguste Gusteau. Remy had even read Gusteau's book, Anyone Can Cook. Both the cookbook and compost heap belonged to the old woman named Mabel. Mabel's attic was home to the whole rat colony, although Mabel had no idea that rats lived upstairs. One day, as Remy sneaked into her kitchen to look for spice, he heard Gusteau's name. Remy learned that a great chef had died from a broken heart after his restaurant lost its 5-star rating. Remy was so shocked by the news about Gusteau that he didn't notice Mabel wake him up. He and Emil scrambled to escape as Mabel chased them. In a chaos, the ceiling cracked and the entire colony fell to the floor. Sound the alarm! Evacuate! Cried out Remy's father, Dango. As the other rats headed out the door, Remy went back into the kitchen for the cookbook, but he couldn't leave it behind. Unfortunately, Remy was left behind. All the other rats made it to the evacuation boats that were floating in the creek. Separated from his family, the little rat tried to use a cookbook as a raft, but was swept away, taking a wild ride down into a sewer pipes. When he finally came to a stop, he was all alone, hungry and sad. Soon after, Remy began to dry his precious cookbook pages. Magically, Gusteau seemed to come to life on the page. Or was it Remy's imagination? If you are hungry, go up and look around, said Gusteau. If you focus on what you have left behind, you will never be able to see what lies ahead. And that's exactly what Remy did. He climbed up until he saw Paris. Remy said breathlessly, all this time I have been underneath Paris. Wow, it's beautiful. Remy looked to his left. His jaw dropped. He saw a sign for Gusteau's restaurant. Your restaurant? Remy said to Gusteau. You've led me to your restaurant. For Remy, this was a dream come true. Remy perched atop restaurant's skylight, looking down into the kitchen. At that moment, an awkward-looking young man named Linguini arrived with a letter for Skinner, the ill-tempered chef in charge of the kitchen. Linguini's mother had been a good friend of Gusteau's. She wanted her son to have a job at the restaurant. Skinner had no choice. He hired Linguini as a rubbish boy. A little while later, Linguini accidentally spilt the pot of soup. Remy watched in horror as Linguini secretly added water and ingredients to the pot in an attempt to fix her soup. Just then, Remy fell down from a skylight and landed in a busy kitchen crowded with chefs. He scrambled to escape through the unopened window. Remy ran by the big pot of soup, then stopped short. It smelled horrible, encouraged by Gusteau. Remy thought this was his chance. Remy knew he could fix a soup. He jumped onto the stove top and started tossing carefully picked ingredients into a pot. As Remy worked, he suddenly realised that a huge face was staring at him. It was Linguini, but Skinner was right behind him. Linguini quite quickly hid Remy under the colander. Skinner shouted at Linguini, "How dare you cook in my kitchen?" He fired Linguini on the spot. Before anyone knew it, the questionable pot of bowl of soup was on its way to the dining room, where in an important restaurant critics sat waiting to eat. Everyone in the kitchen was nervous as to what the critic thought about the soup. Word came back. The soup was delicious. The critic loved it. Skinner couldn't believe it, so he tasted the soup himself. It tasted incredible. Am I still fired? Asked Linguini reluctantly. Skinner gave Linguini a second chance. He assigned Colette, one of the cooks, to teach Linguini. In a commotion, Remy turned towards a window, but Skinner spotted Remy. After ordering Linguini to catch the rat in a jar, Skinner demanded, "Take it away from here, far away. Dispose of it. Go!" Linguini didn't have a heart to throw Remy in the river. Instead, a young man started talking to the little rat. When Remy nodded, Linguini realised that Remy understood him. Linguini made a deal with his new rat friend. Linguini would let Remy out of a jar if the rat promised to help Linguini cook. But as soon as Linguini opened the jar, Remy ran for his life. Then he stopped. Remy felt guilty and turned back. He felt bad for Linguini, but he also realised that his could be his big chance to cook in the gourmet kitchen. Back inside the restaurant, Linguini hid Remy in his shirt as Remy tried to help the young chef with his cooking. But Remy kept tickling and biting Linguini to guide him along. Ouch! It didn't work very well. Finally, Linguini hid the rat under his chef's hat. In the bustling kitchen, the pair were about to collide with a waiter, so Remy tucked Linguini's hair. Linguini jerked backwards like a puppet, just ducking under the waiter's tray. The young man was amazed. Could this be their new sister? Linguini and Remy went home to practice cooking. Remy guided Linguini by tucking his hair. Before long, Linguini was chopping, mixing, pouring, all the while he was blindfolded. Linguini returned to Gusteau's kitchen and recreated the soup easily. With Remy's help, before long, Linguini was doing very well as a new cook. In the meantime, Skinner finally read the letter from Linguini's mother. In it, she said that Auguste Gusteau was Linguini's father. Nobody knew, not even Linguini or Gusteau. Skinner was horrified. He had thought the restaurant would be for his. Skinner's lawyer reminded the chef what was Gusteau's will. The will said Skinner would inherit the restaurant, but only if Gusteau had no heirs. Now, Linguini was the rightful owner. Skinner had to do something to make sure Linguini never find out. One night, as Remy was relaxing in the alley, but behind the restaurant, enjoying the cooking success, Elmi appeared. Emil led his long-lost brother to the welcoming his new home. Overjoyed, they held a party in honor of Remy's homecoming. Music, dance, and filled the sewer. Soon, Remy had to leave. He said they had a job and a place to live with humans. Remy's father scolded and tried to convince his son that humans were dangerous. He took Remy to the exterminator's shop that specialised in getting rid of rats. Against his father's wishes, Remy had to head back to the restaurant. Meanwhile, at the gas juice, Remy realised that Linguini was smitten with Colette. That young man couldn't keep a secret. Just as Linguini was about to take off his chef hat to reveal that Remy was a chef. Behind the cooking, Remy gasped. "No, no," whispered Remy as he yanked hard on Linguini's hair. Linguini jerked forwards and kissed Colette. It was quite a surprise to all of them, but Remy's secret was safe for now. Not long afterwards, Remy found Gusteau's will and a letter proving that Linguini was the rightful owner of the restaurant, but Skinner spotted the rat. Remy grabbed the papers and ran. Skinner didn't want these papers to get into the wrong hands. He chased Remy to the boat, but the chef could end up in the river. By the time he's soaking wet, Skinner returned to Gusteau's. The genie knew the truth. Now it was his turn to fire skin on the spot. Over the next few weeks, the restaurant became extremely popular, but the genie became arrogant and didn't think he needed Remy's help anymore. One night, a famous critic, at an ego, the same person who had ruined Gusteau's 5-star rating, arrived and warned, "I will return tomorrow night with high expectations." After Ego's announcement, Colette angrily dragged the genie back into the kitchen, trying to get him to concentrate. Remy was also furious at the genie's careless behaviour and pulled his hair hard. The genie snapped. He took Remy to the alley and yelled, "You take a break, little chef. I'm not your puppet." Remy was so angry that he brought a tie-wrapped economy to the walk-in refrigerator and told his friends to take what they wanted. That's when the genie returned to apologise. "You're stealing from me," the genie angrily asked Remy. "I thought you were my friend. Get out and don't come back." Remy left the kitchen. The next day, Remy went back because he felt horrible. No, the genie needed his help. "Rat!" shrieked all the chefs. When Remy walked through the door, "Don't touch him," shouted the genie. "The truth is, I have no talent at all, but this rat, he's a real cook." All the cooks walked out, even Colette. Only Remy and the genie were left to cook for Ego. Dango stepped out from the shadows. "I was wrong about him." Dango told Remy, referring to how the genie stood up for the little rat. "I'm proud of you." Dango whistled. "All the rats filled the kitchen. We're not cooks. But you tell us what to do, and we will get it done." All the while, the health inspector watched through the door. Just then, Colette returned and agreed to help cook the dish Remy had chosen, ratatouille. After sampling the meal, Ego asked to meet the chef. The genie introduced Remy. Without a word, Ego walked out to pen his with you. The next morning, Ego gave the restaurant a glowing critique. Unfortunately, the health inspector was also closed Gusteau's due to rats, but soon a new little bistro opened, La Ratatouille, which became famous for its delicious food. Ego was an inventor. The genie was the waiter, and Colette cooked along with Remy. The little rat's dream had came true. He was a chef at last. Well, the end. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me read to you about this Disney Pixar Ratatouille. So if you liked it, give thumbs up. Please feel free to write your comments down below if you enjoyed it. If you don't enjoy it, so click the dislike button. And I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. So please stay tuned and for the next Read Aloud videos. So some of you who's looking forward to Halloween next month. So please and have a nice